Something that I think everybody needs to realize, but most people don't, is this. If you don't have the thing that you want, it is because you don't really want that thing. And you might hear me say that and you go, Kieran, what the hell are you talking about? That is rubbish. That is BS. You do not know the things of which you speak. That is lies. That is crap. Actually, it isn't. Actually, it's true. And by the end of this video, you're going to see what I mean. But firstly, before we get started, if you like the video, please do like the video, comment and subscribe because it helps us to grow. And here we go. So effectively, it's kind of like this. Have you ever put on a significant amount of weight? Like, have you ever put on some weight and then be like, whoa, I need to lose this weight? You have done, right? So let's say there was probably sometime maybe last year, 2 years ago, 3, 4, 5, when for whatever reason you didn't exercise a lot, you ate a ton of junk food, you're going out partying and drinking loads of alcohol, and one day you looked in the mirror and you were like, Jesus H Christ, I am looking fat. What basically happened then was you did everything in your power to get back to your baseline, didn't you? You kind of became a demon. You started watching what you ate, you cut out all of the junk, and you did everything to get yourself back to where you needed to be. However, once you got back to where you felt normal, to where you feel like you, what did you do? Did you carry on that stuff to give yourself a killer body? You didn't. You just stayed at where you believed you were natural. On the flip side, have you ever got yourself into great shape? Have you ever been on a bit of a workout kick? Right? You were like, yeah, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to lose these love handles. I'm going to feel good in my body. And maybe you work out 5 days a week for like 2 months or so. Or maybe you did it for free. And then what happened? You started to look good. You started to look sexerific. You started to look in the mirror and be like, you know what? This person right here just positively, possibly, maybe actually the sexiest piece of chocolate ass this side of the Atlantic. But then what happened? You found excuses to stop working out. You were like, yeah, you know what? I've worked out 3 days this week. I don't need to work out 4. Yeah, but I've done well. So I deserve this pizza. I've earned this pizza. I deserve it. You started to justify it. Little by little, the excuses mounted, and little by little, you stopped doing the stuff that you were doing. And then little by little, you got back to your baseline. Why the hell is that? Why do both things happen? Why is it that you can put on a ton of weight and get back to your baseline, and then lose a ton of weight and get back to your baseline? Because your brain cares about the baseline. That's it. The baseline is who you believe you are, who you think you're supposed to be. Here's another example. They say over 90% of people who win the lottery lose all of the money within like 2 years. And why is that? Because they never had the identity of being people with millions and millions of pounds or dollars. So when they get those millions and millions and millions, it doesn't gel with who they internally believe themselves to be, and then they find an excuse to get rid of it. Just like when you were working out and you got yourself in great shape, that didn't gel with who you saw yourself to be. You found an excuse to get rid of it. This is literally the reason why New Year's resolutions. How many people stick to New Year's resolutions? Not many. Why? Because it doesn't gel with who you see yourself to be. For instance, right, you might be here like watching for some information on how to attract women. How much info on how to attract women have you really seen? Like, if we just want to keep it a buck, right? Keep it a buck. The man who is looking at this channel, odds are this isn't the first dating coach channel you've ever seen in your life, is it? You've seen quite a few. All the channels you've seen, all the videos you've watched. Can we just be honest and say that you have gotten enough information to make whatever transformation you need? Somewhere within the midst of all of these videos or the articles that you have seen and the day game and whatever, you have gotten enough info which that if you just absolutely went for it and used this info, you would have the life that you wanted. But you don't. And why? I wish I had 10 million in the bank. But you don't. And why? Because deep down you don't really want it. You don't. If you wanted it, you would get it. The thing is this: up until the age of about 7 or 8, your brain is installing the software it will use to run your life moving forward, right? The kind of person that you believe yourself to be. And all your brain cares about is keeping your life in accordance with that software, because this software governs how you need to be in order to not die. Everything from your personality to your humor to your level of finances, whatever. So if, let's say for argument's sake, you saved loads of money when you were 10 and you noticed that everybody around you hated you and they were jealous because of it, you might then decide that you don't deserve to have lots of money. Or maybe like when you're 7, whatever. You might decide you don't deserve to have lots of money. So then you create like a line in your subconscious mental program, your OS, your coding that says, I don't deserve to have lots of money. And ergo, you will never allow yourself to have lots of money. If you're watching this video, you totally believe you don't deserve to have girls. You know why? Because if you did believe you deserve to have them, you would have had them at school, in high school. You would have been one of those guys. I mean, people talk about a natural. Like, what the hell's a natural? Why is a natural any better than you? A natural is literally just a guy who just believed in himself. That's more or less it. Like, if you look at guys who are naturals, like, they just believe themselves and they free themselves into social situations. And of course, you little by little learn stuff. Just like we've all learned things about society. I learned that if I spoke back to my parents when I was growing up, bad things happened. I learned that. So then I stopped doing it. You know, like naturals, they just go up to girls and then like maybe they use some silly line it doesn't want to go, oh, okay. So then they try something else and then they do it and then it works. You know, without actually needing to hire any form of coach. Point is, if you actually believed you were worthy of women, you would have always had them anyway, like from school days and being in your area, and you would still have them today because you would just have that mental architecture in your brain that says, yeah, I deserve girls, but you don't believe that you do. And if you don't believe that you do, you will always fight against it. Something I have seen in my time as a COACH is men who will work with me and make changes. Something that guys always say to me is, will this work for me? And I go, bro, it will work for everybody on the planet. You just have to do what I say. Now, there are some men who have it start to work, and for one reason or another, well, literally one reason, they will back out once it starts to work. So there are some men who are like, it's working, and they're like, let's push to the moon. That's not most men at all. What happens with most men is that once it starts working, once they notice that they are getting a transformation, then they want to stop at a certain point. So they might say, I wish I had all of these women. They might say that. But then once they realize they're moving in that direction, it's like, I got all these women. Mo bitches, mo problems. Ugh. And then they find an excuse to back out. Why is that? Because like I say, it's your self-image. So now that we have established effectively, by the way, can we just take a moment to look at my Captain America shield right there? I absolutely love that thing. Prized possession. Yeah, and by the way, you just have to be yourself as well. Like, I'm aware of the fact that I'm a dating coach with a geeky Captain America shield. This is me. This is who I am. Deal with it. Yeah, so now we've established basically your identity and how your identity forms who you are. How do you change your identity? Well, there's lots of ways that you can do it, but I'm going to give you 2. The first thing is you have to write out all of the ways that your current identity is causing you pain, because your brain won't change until it feels like it has to. And for it to feel like it has to feel like staying the way you are is bad and painful, and changing is pleasant, basically. You have to show your brain that. But your brain won't make that switch if it doesn't see. You have to show it how you're hurting yourself. So if we just take women, I mean, and this can be for anything, but yeah, let's just use women as an example. It's like, all right, so how much money have I wasted on OnlyFans? How much money have I wasted trying to impress women who ghosted me after the first date? How much money have I wasted on clothes thinking that would help? How much time have I spent alone? Specific times that women have laughed at me. Specific times when I was on a date and I could feel myself losing the girl, but I did not know what to do. I didn't know how to turn that around, but I could feel it. I'm losing. You can feel it. I know we've all been there. Times when you can feel you're losing a girl, but you don't know what to do, and it's so frustrating, and you feel so powerless, and you can see that she doesn't care at all. You care so much. You really want to pull her towards you. She does not care at all. And how does that feel? Things like this. Things like seeing other men with the women that you want. Things like the time when you were in a club and you saw some girl and you really liked the look of her. And maybe you spent an hour looking and you're like, I should go and talk to her. But you never ever did you? And then you see someone else with that girl. I've got a story like that. Years ago, I worked in a club. It was a nightclub in Birmingham called DNA, and I was a glass collector. So I was like walking around the club and picking up glasses, basically, glass bottles. At some point, there was this club night on, and my cousin was there. And my cousin was from London. He just happened to be in the city. Anyway, I see this girl. and I really liked the look of this girl. Did I have the balls to talk to this girl? No, but I really liked that girl. Anyway, so I see this girl and I'm just looking and looking and looking. And throughout the night, I'd see her about and I just always had my eye on this girl. Then one moment or so, I saw my cousin come out of the toilets with that girl, the same girl. Now, did I look down on my cousin or hate him for that? No, but that reflected badly on me. It's like he had the balls to do what I didn't. And funnily enough, I told him about that like 6 months ago. He didn't even remember. He's like, what? Didn't even remember. Slept with the girl in the toilets, right? And totally forgot about it. Meanwhile, that's like some 20 years ago, right? We were like 18 at the time. Yeah, I'm very much aware of that because that was like a watershed moment in my life. But anyway, so you got to list like all of the ways that you have hurt yourself by being the way that you are, and how that has hurt your ability to, achieve your goals. So like with me, I'd write down that. It's like I had to watch Alistair, who's my cousin, sleep with this girl that I didn't have the balls to do and maybe could have done if I'd had the balls to do it. If you see what I mean? Yeah, so you write all of that out and your list will take forever and ever and ever and ever and ever meant to go through. Like it'd be, you want everything, literally everything, and you want to look at it and you want it to cause you massive pain, and it absolutely needs to as well. It's so important that this list causes you massive pain because that massive pain is what's going to trigger the transformation. Without the massive pain, there won't be a transformation. So if you're writing this out and you're trying to make it not hurt, you might as well stop and do something else, because if it doesn't really cause you significant emotional trauma to read through that list, you will not be emotionally invested enough to make sure that you take the requisite changes. That is a fact. It's an absolute cast iron, undeniable fact. So anyway, you want to do that, and it could also help to look into the future as well. What kind of person will I be in 5 years, 10 years, etc. if I don't change, basically. All right, cool. Right, so there's that, right? Now, basically, what you want to do is write out exactly who the ideal version of you is, right? So we now know that the version of you that you are isn't working, so we now need to know who the version of you that you want to be is. But you have to know who that is, because most people have no idea. So how does he walk? How does he talk? How does he stand? How do women respond to him? Do they like him? Do they not? Do their pupils dilate when they look at him? Do they DM him all of the time? Do they try to get with him? Everything that you can think of that is important about the ideal version of you, you need to write that down. You need to know like what that is, because you can't build something without knowing what it is. It's impossible. This camera that I'm using to shoot this was designed before it was built. You have to know what it is you're creating. Exactly who the hell is this guy? Then you need to basically take the steps to be that person, like act in the way he does. Just like try to be him. So if the ideal version of you does Muay Thai, you'd start doing Muay Thai. And of course it's going to feel really weird and uncomfortable at first, but it will become more and more organic and natural over time. It will just slowly become you, and then eventually you won't be faking it. Another thing that you want to do is self-talk, right? This is really important. So you need to talk to yourself like you are that person. Very important, all day. So if you are like me, or if you are like you, if you are like most people, I would imagine that you spend a significant percentage of your time watching all sorts of rubbish, right? Like YouTube, Netflix, whatever. Switch that off, because that is a distraction. That distracts you from thoughts you're actually having. You need to sit alone with yourself and talk to yourself. So you catch yourself, you think a weak and disempowering thought, catch yourself and be like, no, go away. That thought is rubbish, that thought is BS. I'm replacing it with this. Talk to yourself with some swagger, like I'm the real deal. I'm the real deal. I'm the showstopper. I'm the game changer. I'm built different. I'm exceptional. I'm the total package. I'm the apex predator. Talk to yourself like this. I'm all that and then some. I got it going on. I'm the man up in this beast. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Talk to yourself like that. Catch yourself when you're thinking some weak stuff. Catch yourself. Like I said, do the things that the ideal version of you does. And as you're like your brain's going to try and fight it. It is. But you just have to shut it up and say, yo, subconscious brain, that is not the way that we do things anymore. Just so we are clear, that might have been the way we did it in the past, is not the way that we do it now. So you are going to get with the program and you're going to give me the strength and the resilience and the intensity, the masculinity, the desire, the power, the passion, the force, the power, the complete total power that I require to get this done, because you no longer sabotage me and my goals. That's how you talk to yourself. And you do that long enough, your self-image will start to change and you will start to get the women that you so covet. Anyway, thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Please do like, please do subscribe, please do comment, because it really helps. It helps me a lot, right? That's number one. Number two, yours truly is also a novelist. I'm working on a book. The book is called N-Word. It's about an 85-year-old white woman who dies and immediately wakes up in the body of a 23-year-old black OnlyFans and Instagram model, going on a rampage of sex, destruction, damage, violence, murder, as she is trying to make up for all of the stuff that she did not get to experience in her first life, while also dealing with 85 years worth of pain, misery, remorse, and regret. It's coming soon. Yeah, just like stay tuned, basically. That book is coming soon. Bye-bye.